All right, for anybody that's tracking and helping any of my viewers, having a little problem here. My phone is charging, clearly. I have the charger hooked into a positive and also coming in right here. Oh, it's hooked in right there. Going to the grounding lug on that. I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this real quick and then talk about my problem. Grab this phone real quick, dear. Okay, so let's get this off of here. Get this off of here. Okay. All right. I got somebody on the DIY Facebook group helping me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, reading a Reddit post, somebody said, hey, he was saying, hey, my box is still bonded even though I removed the bonding screw right here. That was a problem I was having. And I thought it was actually messed up, that it might bend something in the back and it permanently makes that bond, but they said, no, it shouldn't be that way. And somebody said, hey, just eliminate everything. I have disconnected all of the wires. There's my breakers that I had. They're just hanging there. Negatives are there. Absolutely nothing hooked into this box. And so here is the grounding lug on there. I actually don't think this makes any changes at all. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here. So it's just going outside to a grounding rod. So, dear, can you hold this phone, please? Just stay over here would probably be better. Okay. So, we're having some problems. Now, once I disconnected the negative lines, it did break the bond, and it was going down there. But all four of those lines down there were just sitting on the ground. They're not actually hooked up to anything. Just point it down there. You can see them sort of sitting right there. All four of the lines. They're just sitting on the ground. But it was still making that bond with the negatives hooked up. Very strange. So disconnected that. Come over here, and it did break the. Let me go to connectivity. So I can like right now. I don't even understand why I'm getting connectivity. Now I do know. Actually, now I do, because the inverter has a automatic bond. It will bond them in inverter mode and disconnect the bonds and disconnect the bond when it's in utility power / generator mode. It automatically does it in there. So that's probably why I was getting that connectivity right there. Could you get out of there? Okay. So right now there is no grounding wire going to the breaker box. Nothing. Let's check the connectivity. Make sure the box is doing what it's supposed to do. Okay. Connectivity. No bond between neutral. Nothing. Clearly neutral to neutral is bonded. Positive or grounding lugs to grounding lugs. But it's working like it's supposed to. Now the very weird thing is, so when we turn it on volts here, I'm trying to hook this on something where you can see it when it's watching. When you're, can you see that really good? Okay. So let's go ahead and turn this back on. You can back out so we can see me touching the wires too.
You can't see that.
I'll just call it off. So neutral to the first phase, 121. Second phase, 121. Third phase, 122. Okay, doing what it's supposed to do. Hot to hot with this inverter is not 240, it's 208, so that's 209, 210. Close enough. Everything's doing what it's supposed to do. Now the problem is, so neutral to ground, let's see, 7 volts. According to my buddy, he said that's normal. He goes, it should be a little lower. If I hook up the ground to the breaker box, that number drops off dramatically, almost goes to nil. But what is very strange right now, again, no grounding lug from the grounding lug here. This is not grounded. There's no ground coming from that to this. This green wire is not that, for anybody who watched the other videos. This is a 3-phase wire that I had. And the colors, I think, are NATO or military, so don't mind the colors. Just think all 3 of those are hots in a 3-phase neutral. There's no ground coming into here. And yet, I'm getting from the ground to the hot 76, to the second hot 70, to the third hot 83. And what's very strange, did you see those numbers there? Could they see them? So what's very strange to that, so we had basically 70, 75, and 80. We can turn this off, hook up the grounding rod that's outside into the panel. Yes, this is all temporary. I know it's supposed to be a thicker wire. Turn the inverter back on. Now again, we were getting 70, 75, and 80 volts hot to ground. And now with the ground installed, we're getting 113. Go ahead and show the number to the ground. The second one, 112. Third one, 115. So we had 70, 75, and 80 volts going to the grounds with no grounding wire running outside. We put the grounding wire going outside, and we actually have more voltage going to the grounds. So I've talked to other people. We are dumbfounded how any voltage at all is getting to the grounds. There's absolutely nothing hooked to the box. The bonds from the neutral to the grounds, the green screw is out. We've tested the connectivity, no voltage going into that. And yet, there's no ground running from the inverter to the box. So even if there was problems in the inverter internally, it couldn't backfeed to the ground. There's literally nothing hooked to the ground at all. It's got the 4 screws going in. It's not running screwed through a wire on the wall. There's nothing behind this. We ran 2x12s across. There's nothing back here, so when we screw the inverter on the wall, there's nothing that can interfere. We really are lost as to how any power is getting to the ground, and then why the power actually goes from 70 volts to 113 volts when the actual grounding rod is installed. So if there's any electricians that know what's going on, there's no connections with this to any other thing other than a positive and negative to the battery bank. It does say it has an internal bond. Let me read this to you guys so maybe you can help me and see what you guys think. It's where did I? Well, bear with me. And basically, let's see, alright, I don't want to sit here while I'm making this video. Basically, I'm 90% sure what it was saying was, okay, here we go. It's one page off. AC wiring. It says, the TPH inverter will automatically bond the neutral with ground in DC to AC battery mode. I'm assuming that means in normal inverter mode. And separate the neutral with the ground in AC mode. So DC to AC battery mode, I believe I'm reading into that as normal inverter without any utility power coming in. And separate the neutral with the ground with AC mode. I'm assuming that's just when it passes it through or it has utility or generator power. If anybody thinks I'm reading into that wrong, definitely let me know as well. But that's what I got going on today. For the life of me, I've been running these little 3,000 watt inverters, and they've been working great. My battery banks are doing what they're supposed to do. I've hooked up this big Mac Daddy thing, and just constant problems. I can't get it running right. So any advice I greatly appreciate. Thank you.